can I tell you? Don't mean to laugh because it's serious, but I do feel fine. Hi again, YouTubers. Pastor Steve here with another quick segment of current Christian commentary and news. I'm your host, Pastor Steve. Gonna make this short, sweet, and to the point. Now, if you did not watch my last video about the end of the world, now I know it was a little too much Bible for some of you, but believe me, some of you could use a little Jesus in your life. I'm gonna stick, this is more of a secular side of what Jesus was telling us about earthquakes such as never have been seen nor will be seen again. And that's the part that I'm telling you, folks. Yeah, I know there's earthquakes all the time, and there's volcanoes all the time, and there's asteroids and meteors all the time, but not of this magnitude. Okay, let's just get right to it, shall we? Let me show you this report.
Pacific Northwest, I'd be considering moving. Seriously. The gist of it is this. The federal government estimates 13,000 Americans will die in a major earthquake and tsunami in the Pacific Northwest. It's not a question of whether, but when. This earthquake is coming, and it's overdue. Consider that the magnitude 9.0 earthquake in Japan, just a few years ago, remember that? Killed more than 15,000 people in the north of Japan and injured thousands of others. Seismologists say that the quake that will strike on our Pacific Northwest coastline should be even stronger, at up to a 9.2. They call such a quake a margin rupture quake, and it's every bit as bad as it sounds. Here's the reason for it. Our entire continent sits on the North American tectonic shelf, right? Plate, I should say. Off the coast of the Pacific Northwest, from the top of Washington State all the way down to Northern California. This is it. And another plate called the Juan de Fuca is trying to slide up under North America, but it's stuck. We have an illustration over here in the big wall. Let me show you what this is. This is our continent here. This is the Cascada Mountains. This is the Cascadia, what do they call it? The Cascadia what? Bridge. The Cascadia Bridge. I was actually asking him, but thank you. The North American plate here and the Juan de Fuca plate here. This one's sliding up under, and eventually this is going to go down, send a huge wall of water up. That wall will go all the way over to Japan, and the other will come onto our shore within 15 minutes. And when it slips, it will unleash not only a colossal earthquake, but also that tsunami. 700 miles long, and in some places up to a 100-foot high wall of water and whatever it's pushing, like houses and dump trucks and schools. Thousands and thousands will not escape. The New Yorker quotes a FEMA official who says, and I quote, "Our operating assumption is that everything west of Interstate 5 will be toast." Everything west of Interstate 5 is gone. That's Seattle, Tacoma, Portland and Olympia, Salem and Eugene, wiped out. Altogether about 7 million people. That's not including tourists. So think of summertime. The New Yorker reports that FEMA calculations indicate the disaster will damage or destroy about 1 million buildings, including 3,000 schools and 1/3 of all fire stations. And perhaps the worst part of all of this, these sorts of earthquakes happen at regular intervals in exactly this part of the world, have forever. On average, according to seismologists, about every 240 years. So when was the last one of these massive 9.2 or so earthquakes? Well, the last one was more than 300 years ago, the year 1700. It struck in the Pacific Northwest and sent a 600-foot wave of water all the way to Japan. So right now, on average, the Pacific Northwest is decades overdue for the really, really big one.
Okay, I know some of you are sitting there saying, oh, well, that's just Fox News, and that's fine. I don't listen to Fox News. It's nothing but right-wing propaganda, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Okay, fine. How about the United States Geological Society? This is their, what do I want to call it? This is their computer model of how this thing is going to happen. And remember, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I'm telling you, because of the stuff that's happening out there in space with the binary systems and all this other stuff, I'm telling you, folks, we're right around the corner. Are you saved? Well, we'll get to that in just a minute. Take a look at this. All right. Well, now you say, well, that was Fox News and the United States Geological Society. How about Michio Kaku, famous scientist and physicist? If you're not going to listen to him and you're not going to listen to me, you're not gonna. That's it reminds me of my kids growing up when they heard when I was trying to tell them something. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, folks. You can't afford to have your head buried in the sand. We are living in the last days. My job here at this channel is to try and get you ready. All right, so let's see what Professor Kukuku, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but you've seen him on TV. Let's see what he has to say.
And futures contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at the City University of New York. Good morning.
Morning.
So it's overdue. When will it might come?
Well, this is the mother of all earthquake faults. It can pack a wallop 30 times that of the San Andreas fault. So forget all the Hollywood hype about the San Andreas fault. We're talking about an earthquake, a 9.0, similar to what devastated northern Japan, which killed over 15,000 people and caused $250 billion in property damage. The last big one was 315 years ago. We think the cycle time is roughly 240 years. Do the math. We are overdue in this calculation with another.
Okay, so they think the cycle is every 240 years, and it's been 315 years since this thing did its thing, going under with the thing. You know what I'm talking about. Listen to me. As my good friend Paul Begley often asks, are you saved? Okay, he's not my good friend, and I don't even know him, but I watch his videos. He seems like a really good guy. Are you saved? Folks, I'm telling you, it is literally the end of the world as we know it. I hope you feel fine. If you know Jesus, you have nothing to worry about. If you don't know Jesus, you might be in a little trouble. Hey, folks, God bless you. It is the end of the world as we know it. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. You have an umbrella? That wave is going to be really big. Just saying.